Today, I'm going to show you how to hack on 2b2t. Now, what's cool about this Minecraft server is that it explicitly allows all players to use hacks. So, that's exactly what we're going to do. But where do you even start? What are the best hacks to use on 2b2t? Finally, after years of you asking, here's a full rundown of the best and worst hacks to use on 2b2t, and what you can actually expect to do with them. Now, the thing about Anarchy servers like 2b2t is that hacking is actually completely a part of the server's meta. This puts Anarchy servers in a very unique situation because think about it. If everyone is hacking, it actually makes it a level playing field. This means that if you aren't using some kind of hacked client, also known as a utility mod, you are intentionally putting yourself at a huge disadvantage. Now, even though 2b2t allows players to use hacks, the server still has an anti-cheat plugin installed, which its main job is to prevent players from using most movement hacks, like speed or just straight up flying. But there are some ways around these measures, plus a plethora of client-sided hacks that almost always work and are essential for thriving on the server. So which utility mod should you use? Well, the TLDR is that it mostly comes down to whether you want to spend money or not. Here is the current list of utility mods that are used by most players on 2b2t, categorized by free and paid. Now, for some reason, I see a lot of new players using this specific utility mod, and I would honestly knock this off the list because it's really not that useful for 2b2t, and I'll explain why later in the video. That leaves us with Meteor Client as the best free option for 2b2t, which is what we'll be focusing on first. Here's the main website of Meteor Client, where you can download it as a Fabric mod. Make sure you only download this and other utility mods from their original source, like their website. Otherwise, you may be putting yourself at risk of downloading some kind of virus or whatever. While you're at it, you should also download Baritone here as well, and I'll show you why this will come in handy later. If you don't have the Fabric mod loader set up, my last video shows exactly how to do that. But basically, we're going to drag these into our mods folder, and now we have Meteor Client. Let's log into 2b2t and see how this all works. Alright, to open up the menu, just hit right shift on your keyboard and you'll get this huge selection of different hacks or utilities you can use. Now, most of us should be familiar with using X-ray to find ores, FreeCam to look around, and stuff like that. These are examples of client-sided hacks that will always work on 2b2t, but what doesn't usually work is just straight up flying. And yeah, this is pretty much useless because the server's anti-cheat can easily detect this. As for the rest of the modules this utility mod offers, I tend to use these on a regular basis when I play 2b2t with Meteor Client. Other modules may or may not work depending on many factors, so you'll probably need to experiment or do some research if you want to use them. So if we can't fly, and we can't even use on-ground speed hacks, is there a way to travel faster? Well, currently, Elytrafly is the answer. Just make sure to set it to bounce mode, and only use it on a flat surface. But it isn't perfect. It's a bit glitchy, and you can't even look around. A fix for this is to keybind Elytrafly and FreeLook together, and to adjust a few settings for both. On screen are the settings I typically use, but this kinda goes to show some of the limitations that free clients have. Now, you can add plugins to Meteor to fix some blatantly obvious things that it's lacking, but you have to be careful to make sure that they're safe to install, so make sure not to download them from sketchy sources like Discord DMs or something. So now let's get into paid utility mods. As of the making of this video, we pretty much have the choice between Future Client and RusherHack. Both have a single payment cost of $20 and have some kind of DRM to prevent you from sharing the jar file with others. Future Client is a utility mod that myself and others have been using for years, as it's kind of the OG paid client. Historically, players have reported that Future is better for Crystal PvP, but I can't really attest to this because I'm not a PvPer. But with both Future and RusherHack, Elytrafly in bounce mode works perfectly right out of the box. But more recently, I found that RusherHack now seems to be the preferred utility mod as a whole to use on 2b2t and other Anarchy servers. Mainly because it has the most features, the best usability, and the developer also seems to be more active. One comparison to make is that RusherHack's scaffold works so much better compared to Future. It also has an extremely clean and customizable HUD editor and a search bar, groundbreaking technology, which Meteor does also have both of these. But not in Future. Now I could sit down and try to compare every single feature from all of these clients, and I would love if you guys can do that in the comments. But overall, the point I'm trying to make is that paid utility mods in general will give you a slight edge over the free ones. And if you want, you can even install them together. But in my opinion, the free option is probably good enough for most players. Now let me quickly talk about some extra add-on utility mods that are super useful on 2b2t, like Baritone. This is basically a mod that automates player movement and actions. For instance, I can just type #go_to and wherever coordinates I want to go, and it will just take me there. Now while it's walking for me, I can type in ETA and it'll give me an estimated arrival time. And if I type stop, it'll obviously stop whatever Baritone command is running. I've also used Baritone a ton in the past for mining out huge areas for builds, and this only scratches the surface of what Baritone can do. So I would recommend doing your own research beyond that. Now when you're ready to build on 2b2t, you might not even have to if you use Litematica Printer. This is an add-on mod for Litematica, which I should also warn you that Litematica is anything but light and extremely clunky to use, bring back Schematica, but once you figure that out from watching a tutorial or something, Printer will pretty much just place blocks in the exact spot from your Minecraft schematic, like a printer. Oh, and I guess I have to show you Worst Client. Why the hell is it even called Worst? It's like the developers knew or something. Anyways, this is a very basic utility mod that has the most common features you would expect out of one, like X-Ray, Autototem, Killora, etc. But the interface is really clunky and missing quite a few features that more modern utility mods have. It doesn't even have a Lightrafly. The only redeeming factor is that it updates with new game versions pretty quickly. Oh wait, but Meteor Client does too. So yeah, I wouldn't really recommend this for 2b2t at all. So there you go. That's how to hack on 2b2t. Just don't ever do it on other servers. Okay?